Possibility of loss of grafted fat? Greetings. I have been on a 1 meal per day caloric restriction fasting regimen for the past 4 years. I have been enjoying great health, and so I feel like turning this into a lifelong commitment. I've been wanting to get fat grafting both to enhance my lips and my cheeks. However, under such a regimen, the body turns into a very efficient fat burning machine. So my question is, under such specific circumstances, would the grafted fat get lost? If so, what are the non-fat alternatives?
Thank you for your question. You're asking a question about having potentially fat grafting to the cheeks and the lips, but you have a concern due to a particular diet regimen where you eat 1 meal a day and you have a perception that it's likely that fat would get absorbed very rapidly, and you're asking about alternatives. Well, certainly I can share with you my experience with this type of question, which comes up in different variations in our office, particularly as it relates to diets. A little bit of background: I'm a board-certified cosmetic surgeon and fellowship-trained oculofacial plastic and reconstructive surgeon. I've been in practice in Manhattan and Long Island for over 20 years, and essentially the evolution of solutions for this type of augmentation has really been a tremendous benefit for my patients, and I'll explain further. To begin with, prior to 2005, before Restylane came on the scene, the search for an ideal filler for a surgeon was essentially trying to do fat grafting. We basically were working very hard, and a lot of leading innovators with fat grafting were essentially mentors to all of us to learn the art and science of fat grafting. And certainly fat grafting does have potential benefit. But as time went on, and even to this day, my major frustration with fat grafting is predictability. The challenge with fat grafting is that still 30 to 70% of the fat can be absorbed. And really, when we talk about fat grafting, we're talking about fatty tissue, which means it's a combination of fat and other parts of the tissue when you do liposuction. Now, yes, there are many more refinements in the fat refining process these days, but I would like to point out that for a lot of our patients who live and work in New York City and in the tri-state area, their lives are very busy. Very often they have similar types of diets. They can be very low carb, they can be vegan, and essentially they exercise a lot. So people who live very, very busy lives, work long hours, have very regimented diets, and have this type of lifestyle, essentially you can get fat from them, but at the same time, predictability is such an important value. So move the clock forward, and we actually have injectable fillers which can provide us with many of the things that we like about fat. Now, the one limitation of any injectable filler is that it cannot last, quote, forever. Because when I say that in quotes because nobody lasts forever. Everyone's face continues to evolve and change. And I see this in my practice when I see people who had fat grafting done 15 or 20 years ago. They've aged, and there's bone loss, there's soft tissue loss, there's various changes, and it doesn't quite look the same, and sometimes in not such a good way. So we now have a wide range of fillers that allow me to essentially do corrections such as lip volume augmentation. And this can be essentially the fillers I predominantly use are all in the hyaluronic acid family. And whether it's the Juvederm family or the Restylane family, we really have a wide range of options. So when it comes to fillers, we're looking at fillers from a point of view of being able to achieve a particular result, being able to minimize any swelling and bruising so that the person can get back to their normal life quickly, and we want longevity. And so we do essentially have many of the best of all worlds, because one thing that is less tolerated now than it was 10 to 15 plus years ago is inconvenience. People have less time, at least this is the impression I get in my practice, regardless of which location we're at. No one has time. Everyone needs to look good for an important event in a few days to like a few hours. So it really is, we live very time-intensive lives. So when it comes to fat grafting, there is a much longer period of healing and resolution of swelling than with injectable fillers. And with injectable fillers, such as, let's say you want to improve your cheeks, well, we use a technique called structural volumizing, where augmenting and enhancing the cheekbones can be done literally in minutes using techniques such as cannulas and methods that involve placing the filler under the muscle. But using fillers that are long-lasting, such as Juvederm Voluma, you're able to achieve a result that will give you, can be very nicely refined and predictably refined, and it can be placed in minutes, and it can last over a year and up to 2 years. So for cheek augmentation, that's really, it really is fantastic. For lip augmentation, it varies. It depends on what type of lip augmentation you need. But generally speaking, comparable methods using cannulas is my preferred approach to minimizing the swelling, minimizing bruising, and getting very, very nice natural looking results. So whether you're a young person looking to enhance or augment your lips, or a person who is, let's say 35, 40 and over, who is trying to restore lost volume, these procedures can be very, very convenient and predictable, and certainly achieve what you want. I think that from my perspective, even though I haven't seen a photo, I would suspect that likely if someone like yourself comes to my practice, we have this type of discussion so you can be informed and make an appropriate choice that's right for you. So I hope that was helpful. I wish you the best of luck, and thank you for your question.